Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. Coming up tonight, the action heats up as winter sports takes center stage. In the Coach's Corner, meet the woman leading a top 10 girls basketball program at Fishers. Plus, when it comes to girls wrestling, our athlete of the week is one of the state's best.
More than anything else, it's a mindset. Like, when I go in, I know in my mind that nobody's going to beat me.
Let's tip things off. The Zone Extra starts now.
Hey, thanks for stopping by the Zone Extra. Charlie Clifford with you here tonight. Winter athletes, it's your time. The court, the mat, the pool. We will have everything covered as now you step into the spotlight. Coach's Corner tonight. Fishers Tigers are 8-2 in girls basketball, ranked 6th in the state. Lauren Vota is in studio with us tonight, plus our athlete of the week. Has wrestled only a couple of years, already one of the best wrestlers in the state. You're going to meet Braves senior Maggie Bonkoski. And we also go on campus, Marian University. What's the latest with former Danville standout, Indiana All-Star Ella Collier? You remember that name, already a junior with the Knights. We'll get to that story first. Last week, we tipped off basketball season here on The Zone. We found plenty of action, and it all started at Zionsville with the Eagles in Westfield. It went to overtime, and in overtime, Logan Imes, this was with 1.6 seconds left, turn, fire, and win it. Over Westfield, Zionsville gets it done. Over at Carmel, the Hounds hosted Lawrence Central. This was all Greyhounds, 28-point win. Hoosier Crossroads Conference. This was a good one at Noblesville. The Millers and Fishers, Noblesville started the game strong and sparked another monster win. That was 55-47 over the Tigers. In the MIC, Pike went on the road to open its season against second-ranked Ben Davis. This went back and forth. Pike took the lead late, but a late bucket, Clay Butler gets it done for Ben Davis. The Giants win by 4. They're ranked second in the state. Over at Brebeuf, Braves and the defending champs Cathedral, the Irish. They look the part as the top team in the state, a 29-point win. We spoke with head coach Jason Delaney. Coach, what's your take on your loaded roster this early in the season?
This group of guys are awesome to coach. They buy into it. They want to be coached. They have a pride, and they know that they don't want to go backwards. It's competitive every day in practice, and it's competitive every game. You've got to show up, and you've got to be ready to work and produce. You know, Coach Carlisle has an outstanding program over there at Ben Davis. They return the most players of anyone in the state, so they're a veteran group who have been through these battles. And for us, with some new pieces, it's kind of a measuring stick. Where are we right now on December 10th?
Southport, Saturday night. It is 1 versus 2. Cathedral, Ben Davis. Get there early if you want a seat. You're looking at the rest of your top 5. That is the Class 4A boys basketball poll. All right, a reminder, if you can't get there, we have you covered. Greg Rakestraw on the call. ISC Network, MyIndy TV 23. Ben Davis, Cathedral. That is an 8:30 tip-off on Saturday night at Southport. In girls hoops, Marion County Tournament. It tipped off Tuesday night. Opening round matchups included Brebeuf and Roncalli. The Royals start well, lead by 7 at the half. Then the visitors blow the game wide open. It was a 22-6 third quarter run. Roncalli a winner 61-33 to advance to the quarters tonight against two-time defending champs North Central. Here is a look at the quarterfinal matchups. It's Franklin Central and Lawrence North, Southport, Lawrence Central, North Central, Roncalli, Warren Central, Ben Davis. There are heavyweights in this field. Championship Saturday at Franklin Central High School. As we enter December, action's really heating up on the mats as well. Boys and girls. On the boys' side, we begin once again in Center Grove. Last weekend, the Trojans headed south for the Bloomington Invite. It was a dominant showing in this event. In the final, Center Grove topped Bloomington South 57-13 for the championship. The Trojans, the third best team in the state, according to the latest 4A poll. Here is a quick glance at where things stand. Again, this is on the boys' side. Brownsburg, number 2, the top team in Central Indiana, the only squad as of right now that's a little better than Center Grove, and then also the Fighting Irish of Cathedral. In the pool, high school swimming, you're underway as well. Of course, Carmel, the defending state champs on the boys and girls side. Everything goes through the Greyhounds in this state in the pool. Let's take a look at the first swimming poll of the season. Zionsville, North Central, also very much in the mix this season. 1 through 5, the early rankings in the pool. On the girls side, Fishers, Hamilton Southeastern, and Franklin. 2, 3, 4. Central Indiana, well represented here in the early going this season. We're taking a quick timeout, but next on the Zone Extra, we're going over the Coach's Corner. She is leading a top 10 girls basketball program once again at Fishers. Lauren Vota is here in studio and still ahead. She's one of the state's top high school girls wrestlers. Our athlete of the week comes out of Brebeuf. We'll be back.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. The Coach's Corner, presented by Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender.
We are in the Coach's Corner tonight with Lauren Vota of Fishers girls basketball. Coach, 6+ seasons. You've won almost 100 games. Major contest tomorrow night against the defending state champs. Welcome to the Coach's Corner. And please tell all the Fisher fans out there, I'm going to let you do a little PSA right off the top. I know you need their help tomorrow night.
Yes, for sure we do. Obviously, big matchup with the Millers coming to town. A rematch of last year's sectional championship. And so we'd love to have all your support out there at the Tiger Den tomorrow night.
Lauren, you come from a coaching family. I believe your dad is still coaching baseball out at Greenfield Central. Please bring me into your world this time of year. Is there a better time of the year than right now?
I don't think so. You get to play a couple of nights a week, and then obviously the other nights you're with your team, maybe practicing, maybe hanging out, having dinner, doing parties and team gatherings. And so I don't really think there is a better time of year, no.
All hoops, all the time. I know so many of you say, sign me up for that. Coach, you're 6th in the state. You won 6 right out of the gate. You're 8-2 for the season. What's gone right in the early going as we take a look at what is a very talented team, 1 through 11? Sometimes we say, 1 through 3, 1 through 4. You have a stacked roster from top to bottom.
Yes, I think what's gone right is these young ladies and their desire to buy into what we're trying to do as a team. They are extremely fun to be around, whether that's before school, in class, after school at practice. They get along well with one another, they respect one another, and they push each other.
They must have a pretty good coach too, because we were speaking about, okay, what are they going to do, when you grow up, when you get out of high school? You think you have a ton of collegiate players on this roster. Please explain that to folks.
Yes, I think we do. I think we have almost all, if not all, of our 11 current varsity players will end up playing basketball in college, and obviously they will go on to do great things as well. They're excellent in the classroom. This is probably one of the best teams top to bottom we've ever had in the classroom as well. So I'm really proud of them in that regard.
That is important. Okay, give me the breakdown, the scouting report of the Tigers. Are we playing man-to-man all night long? What's the breakdown at this point in the season? Because I know we're going to take a look at your schedule in a little bit. This gets tough very quickly.
Yeah, our schedule's always tough. We play in one of the toughest, if not the toughest conference in the state, and then arguably the toughest sectional in the state as well. So it is tough. And yes, we play man-to-man. We play fast. We're pretty deep. And so, we'll throw in a 1-3-1 zone every once in a while. But for the most part, we play man and do what we do.
It doesn't take long being around Lauren to know she's a basketball lifer. Please, with your backstory, walk me through how did you get to this seat tonight?
So I grew up in Greenfield, graduated from Greenfield Central High School, and played there actually for Donna Buckley, who is the coach at Noblesville.
That is a small world.
So she was my high school coach, and now we'll be coaching against each other on Friday night. And then went on to Anderson University and played basketball there for 4 years. And then I've been at Fishers. This is my 14th season there. I worked under Coach Michael Gaines as an assistant, and then I took over the program 6 years ago.
The most rewarding aspect of your 6 years with the Tigers, where would you go on that subject, Coach?
think the most rewarding is watching both my current and former players grow into the people that they are now, thinking about where they were 4 years ago or even 6 years ago. That's why we do this. And so when I think back on, my seniors now and where they were 4 years ago, or my sophomores in college where they were 6 years ago, I think that's the most rewarding part.
And we can't go much further without acknowledging an important volunteer assistant that's joined the Tigers staff. Please let everybody know about that story, Lauren.
So my husband Jeremy is actually on staff now, which is really great. And Jeremy was an official and decided that he wanted to, be with us. And so he comes several days a week and he's at every game, and the girls really enjoy his presence, and he adds a lot of positivity to our program.
Coach Jeremy, good cop, and here's the bad cop with us here in studio. All right, let's get a look at this schedule, because I know, as you said, you take it every year. It's nothing new. You have the defending champs tomorrow night, Hamilton Southeastern, and then a couple other schools that may be mixing it up come tournament time too. What's the message to your team really between now and the new year, Coach?
We always want to be playing at our best come end of January, early February. But at the same time, there's no need to wait. And we understand that in our conference, if you want to win the conference, you have to win a lot of games.
Sure.
And so playing every night is really, really important to us, and working to become our best. I feel like we played good basketball last weekend, and I think we're on the right track. And so I'm excited to see where we go with that tough schedule in the next 5 games.
Fishers fans, you are in great hands with Lauren right here, guiding the ship. All the best the rest of the year, and we hope when we're talking about state finals stuff, we can pull up this interview and say, Coach was ready to go. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Still ahead on the Zone Extra, it's our athlete of the week. She's only been wrestling for 2 years, but is already one of the best in the state. We're going to Brebeuf after the break, and then a little trip to see what's happening with Ella Collier, the former Danville star, who is now lighting it up for the Marion Knights. This is the Zone Extra.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Let's take a look at the latest athlete of the week this year. The IHSA designated girls wrestling as an emerging sport, and this fall, one of the best wrestlers in the state is a senior over at Brebeuf. Sophomore Maggie Bonkoski, looking to do something after volleyball season, discovered why not wrestling? Fell in love with it, started to excel last year, qualified for state, finished 3rd at 126 pounds. This season at 138, Bonkoski unbeaten and ranked 2nd in the state. Her senior season will continue. Maggie says she's glad she rolled the dice and took a chance on this emerging sport.
I love the sport itself. I love the physicality of it. It's just a great way to get out energy from the day, and I love learning technique and just being a student of the sport. But the biggest thing is just the community that girls wrestling is in Indiana.
It is a great experience to have girls wrestling grow the way it has over the number of years. And for these girls to have that opportunity to wrestle, it's fantastic. Maggie has always been a really aggressive wrestler since she started. She was definitely self-driven when she came out, and obviously it was new for her sophomore year, but she picked it up very quickly.
I think more than anything else, it's a mindset. Like when I go in, I know in my mind that nobody's going to beat me this year. I mean, that might turn out not to be true, but just thinking that, I'm unbeatable has been a great strength.
Maggie Bonkoski, keep doing you. A trailblazer in girls wrestling. That's critically important. Way to take a risk. All right, time for a break. Still ahead on the Zone Extra. We're going to ask the commish a burning question tonight. We'll check in with Paul Neidig. Plus, we're getting you ready for a mega night of boys hoops. What's the latest on the Zone? We'll be back.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
This is one of my favorite parts of the show. We go on campus each week and really try to track down and see what's going on with a former star around here on the Central Indiana high school sports scene. This week, we didn't have to go far, but these box scores, they're as impressive as we've seen anywhere. Marion University, former Danville star guard Ella Collier, already a junior with the Knights in high school, Collier helped the Warriors to 4 consecutive sectional titles, became the all-time leading scorer in Hendricks County history at Marion, 14 points a night as a freshman. Last season, 16 points a game. That team won 30 games, by the way. This year, Collier leading in strong night squad in scoring. She says she loves the school and this team. They're going to be fun again this year.
Being a junior now, it definitely is a lot different from freshman year and even last year with our new coach. I would say that so far this year, it's been really fun. I really enjoy playing with this year's group of girls. The freshmen have brought in such great energy and they've made a huge impact already. Being able to stay in central Indiana, just 40 minutes away from my hometown, is huge, and I love it. I get to go home whenever I want, all the time, and it's also so nice because my family gets to come to my games. They travel to even away games. It's definitely just really heartwarming, and I think that was the right decision for me to make.
We remember those moves in high school. Ella Collier, keep it up. Congratulations on a great start to your career at Marion. All right, Ask the Commissioner time. It's great to see IHSAA Paul Commissioner at state championship weekend as you crowned 6 football state champions. This week, we need more answers from the commission's office. Here's this week's question. Let's look ahead to the winter. What impresses you the most about the unprecedented success of Carmel's swimming program, Mr. Commish?
Well, I think it's when hard work meets student athletes that have a desire to do something at a high level. You know, Carmel's had great coaching. They have a community that's supported swimming for many, many years. And I think they're going to continue to do something. And swimming to me is always about dedication. It's about putting in the time. You've got to be there early in the morning, and then you get your second workout in after school, and it goes year round. And I think Carmel has been uniquely situated that now they had some early success, and now we've got kids that are swimming for state championships, and their parents swim for state championships. And I think it's just part of the household. It's part of the upbringing. It's the expectation that's created at the home before it steps into the pool in the community. And again, the coaches and the community do a great job, but it is an expectation that's developed at home from the very beginning.
The alarms that go off in Carmel, they've continued to answer the bell every single morning. Congrats to the Hounds. Thank you to Paul for those kind words about one of the best programs in Central Indiana and certainly in the Midwest in any sport. All right, anytime you have a question for the commissioner, just tweet at us. Use the hashtag #TheZoneExtra, hashtag #AskTheCommission. You can get on the show. We need to take a look at our play of the week. Each week, we go around the state looking for the most bizarre thing we could find, and this week, it lived up to the hype. Here we go. One more time. We're going to Zionsville. 1.6 seconds, tied in overtime. Imes the captain now. Logan Imes from just inside half court. The leader for this squad who desperately needed a win in the early going this season. Well done. And a great court storming as well. You can get your video on The Zone Extra. Use the hashtag #TheZoneExtra. Tweet us, and it's that easy. You see something crazy in the stands, we will get it on the air. Congratulations again to Logan Imes. One more reminder, the matchup Saturday night at Southport. Second-ranked Ben Davis. Top-ranked Cathedral, Mindy TV 23, Greg Rakestraw on the call with the ISC Sports Network. If you can't make it to the gym, we have you covered. Huge night of the Zone is ahead tomorrow night. Several great showdowns in the area. I thought last week's schedule was fantastic. Take a look at what is ahead at 11:08 on Wish TV. Carmel and Noblesville. That game may be better than expected. Remember, the Millers just beat Fishers. Can they pull off back-to-back mega statement wins in consecutive Friday nights? We will see you on The Zone Extra. For Brian Eckstein and the entire crew. We'll catch you next week.